This is Dune Crawl, a 1 to 4 player co-op adventure combat style game. This game has amazing cutscenes, also the gameplay is very good, we will go into it now. This is 1 to 4 player co-op, meaning you can play with friends or play it solo, so I think it's mainly designed around co-op to be honest with you, but you can play it solo. The demo here I played solo, you can pick this demo up on Steam if you like what you are seeing. I think the art style here is some of the best I've seen. This art style is just pure amazingness. The gameplay mechanics here, we've seen them in every other game ever. You know, you hit a box and maybe you'll get something for it. The enemy variety here is actually huge. There's a lot, you know, further into the demo that enemies can do which you wouldn't expect, but it makes the game more fun. And you can do those things too, it's not just the enemies. So let's start with combat, as this is the thing that you're going to be doing most of the time. You can hold right click to lock onto an enemy, and this game has controller support. I believe it's recommended to play with controllers. You hold right click to lock onto an enemy. You'll have a melee weapon, which is a sword or any that you can find in the game. You also have a bow, which lock on is very appreciated with the bow. It makes it a lot more easier. And you will have a healing potion. This is just your starter gear, by the way. The healing potion does have an animation of 1 or 2 seconds before you can actually heal. The hotbar itself is the worst part about this game, to be honest. It's very confusing and you have to like scroll to get to places. Yeah, it is very no good. Outside of combat, you know, you've just seen a gameplay mechanic where you can throw these green balls onto dead or sleeping, I guess, animals and it will revive them. Now you can use these as mounts. By the way, look at how beautiful this level design is and environmental design, it's so amazing. So you can use these as mounts. You can attack from the mount, but the problem is you can't melee attack from the mount, so it just turns into you've got to use something at range. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but so, you know, that's why it died right here, is because I was trying to use my sword and do some sword. I've been playing too much Kingdom Come Deliverance, man. One little gripe about this game is, even in the demo, things just turn into gun versus gun combat. There's so much other things here, like swords, shields, bows, lots of different ways to spice up the gameplay. But you get to areas and it's just guns, like everyone's just shooting a gun. Even if you don't want to use a gun, you want to use a sword, you kind of have to use a gun. I try to, you know, use a sword against a gun, they just do so much damage that it's just not worth it, and it's not really possible to avoid their attacks. Some rooms or areas that you enter will be locked behind a door and you have to complete either a wave or a few waves of enemies to unlock it, or maybe like a mini boss. If there is a mini boss or multiple enemies, it can feel like a bullet hell game where you're just trying to dodge all of the bullets and maybe they will hit you. It does feel like that. It's a different twist. It doesn't happen every single combat scenario, but it can happen, you know, somewhat frequently. The weapons you use do have ammo too, so like here I just picked up some ammo for the bow. Now this is a demo, so I don't really care about spoilers. This is, I guess, an elite enemy. It's a little mini boss, and it's not consistent. It doesn't bother me, but it's really not consistent. It will stop still and shoot, stop still and shoot. Then I'll be aiming at it because I know when it's going to stop still again, and then it runs and shoots at the same time. It's just not consistent. Also, I'm pretty sure, but not 100%, it could have bugged out here. Maybe they just go down here when they're low health, but it meant I couldn't not even hit this guy. I tried to use so many different abilities to damage this person, none of them worked. I think only one of them actually worked, which is how I ended up killing him. But a lot of them just hit him on my screen but didn't register. What makes this game more interesting than just combat room after combat room is how you can get to those places. For example, the mount, which we showed earlier. I wasn't even expecting you to be able to have mounts in this game, so it's absolutely awesome that you can. There's also a vine, you can climb up these vines, and it just makes it different to get to different places rather than it just being walking or, you know, riding on a mount. There's different ways to get around this terrain. Also, when you die, there are checkpoints. It's not too punishing, but you will have to kill all the enemies again, and if there's a locked room, the room will be locked again. Maybe you can revive in co-op. I didn't play in co-op. I can only imagine you can. This game does feel focused around co-op, but it's still fun to play solo. The demo is below if you like what you are seeing. It's definitely a game to check out. It's really fun, to be honest with you. The level design, the environmental design, the art style, The combat, the only bad thing about the combat would be the gun combat. You know, sometimes it's gun versus gun, doesn't feel that great, you know, too generic, I guess. The enemy types are great. There's a lot of great in this game that I can highly recommend you check out the demo. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for your time, and goodbye.